For those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you know that this is my Chinese mini excavator. I've made a whole bunch of videos on it. This is the primary content on my channel these days. It wasn't my intention, but that's kind of how it happened to be, because this thing's awesome. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And this is my Chinese mini excavator. So I get a lot of questions about why I spent so much on this, so much. This unit cost me about $10,000. You can buy some of these at auctions for as little as $3,000. They look pretty similar. They all look almost the same, but are they? Are they really the same? I'm here to tell you no, they're not. And let me tell you why I purchased from a dealership instead of getting one of the cheap little Chinese auction units. There's only a few different companies that make these. There's tons of brands. This one says Kimron. This is sold by K&R Equipment in Muskogee, Oklahoma. They have a few little dealerships around the country that they sell to as well. There's all kinds of other brands out there. You have from AGT to High Top to In Front. I mean, there's so many of them. I can't even keep track of how many brands there are. There's only so many factories making them. There's not many. There's like 3 or 4. So when they make them, they're also not all the same. So this one was sold, like I said, by K&R Equipment. K&R Equipment buys pallets of these and they get them shipped over. The company that manufactures them and sends them to them, they know they're buying dozens and dozens and dozens, and they're buying all different models. This is the smallest one, and they go up to big full-size ones. They sell tons of them. So they know when they ship them a crate full of these things, a container, there's a container full of crates of these, that they know they have to be quality units and they have to work well, because K&R Equipment, they warranty them. So do all the dealers. They warranty them. They have service. They have parts. Just like any normal dealership. When you purchase a vehicle, machine, whatever it is from a dealership, you expect some sort of quality and level of service, and you have an expectation of what it should be when you buy it. You get that with this. When you go there, you turn the key and it just fires right up. You don't have to worry about it starting. Every time I go to it, all I have to do is I flip the switch, I turn the key, and it fires up every time. When I bought it, I didn't have to go change the oil and change all the fluids. I didn't have to do all the things that you might do on a cheapy little one from an auction you know nothing about. Is it the same unit? Well, they look the same, but I'm here to tell you that they're not the same, because they expect that level of quality, and there's an expectation about what you're going to get from a dealership, because they have to warranty it. You know, the manufacturer's not warrantying it to me. The dealership, K&R Equipment, they're going to warranty this thing. So if I have any issues with it, they're going to hear from me. Do they hear from me? No, because I don't have issues with it. So the same manufacturer, you might get this exact same machine, what looks like the same machine, made in the same factory by the same people, and it might be thousands less at an auction. Why? Why would you spend so much more? Well, the blems, the ones that don't pass quality control, the ones that have issues, the ones they don't care so much about, the ones they don't have to warranty, they go to auction. They just send containers of these things over to the US to auctions. And when they get over to the auction, you buy those things as is. Do they start when you leave that auction? Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. There's no warranty. The auction tells you there's no warranty. The manufacturer knows there's no warranty when they make them and they ship them to the US to be sold at auction. So the best of them go to the dealership. The cheapest of them go to the auction. And then you'll see people that claim to be dealers, but they're not really dealers. There's resellers. You see them on Facebook Marketplace. You'll find them in a variety of places online. Like I could just grab my credit card out of my wallet, swipe it on Alibaba, and I can get a container of these things over here. And I'm gonna say, you know what? This is Life in Trees machinery, and I'll put it on the side. Does that make me a dealer? No, that just means I'm a reseller. I'm just buying a bunch of these things and I'm reselling them. I don't have a brick and mortar building. I don't have a phone line and somebody answering my phone. I don't have sales and service and parts. I don't have a parts stock, even if I bought that container. So I'm still not a dealership, and I'm still not, you buy from me and you don't have that expectation of the same thing you would if you went to a car dealership and bought a new car. It's like buying it just from some guy, because that's what it would be. So I bought this from a dealership. And it's a real dealership. Like, I went into their store and I was greeted by their customer service person. They gave me a tour of the back of their facility. They showed me all their parts racks. They showed me all the different models. They showed me why I want this one over that one or this one, and there's so many options. I chose this one because this had the options I wanted. Is this the best? No. Is it the worst? No. But it came from the dealership and has the warranty I need. So when I was looking for this, I'm in the middle of we're building an Airbnb cabin. I've got a cabin loan. We don't have the cash to do it. So we're building this cabin out here, and we're a little strapped for money right now. You know, we don't know what to expect. So I'm not gonna reach into my pocket and pay cash for a machine right now. I'm just not in that place in life. I need to get this cabin loan finished. And until that happens, I'm keeping my cash in my pocket. Because once they're done building it, we're gonna have to furnish it, and we don't know what we're gonna encounter before we get listed that for a short-term rental. So in the meantime, I'm not willing to pull up the cash to go buy one of these for a few $1,000s. But at a dealership, you can finance them. So I went to my local bank and I said, hey, I wanna buy a tractor, farm equipment, mini excavator. And then I say, okay, yeah, no problem. We just need a copy of the invoice from the dealership with the unit serial number on it. No problem. So I call up Ron at K&R and said, hey, I'm going through this bank. I need the serial number and I need some details. I need an invoice so I can send it over to him. They said, yeah, no problem. So he emailed me over a copy of an invoice that had all my attachments, the machine and everything on it. I emailed that over to the bank and they write me a check. They said, hey, your check's ready. Just come over here and pick it up when you want, anytime this afternoon or tomorrow. I'm like, sweet. So I go over there and get my check, and I go over to K&R Equipment and I've got a machine. I couldn't do that at an auction. I couldn't do that from some guy in Facebook Marketplace. I don't have that option. So this thing's gonna make me a bunch of money. I mean, it already has, especially on YouTube, but I've done random projects for other people. So my payment's $160 a month. $160 a month for this thing. Can I afford $160 a month for a machine that easily makes me that? You know, I've dug random trenches for people. I've done some little clearing jobs, and yeah, there's a ton more I could do with it. I just haven't had time, and I've told people, I don't have time right now, maybe later. So I could pay this thing off in not too much time without having to come out of my pocket all the money for one from a reseller or from an auction. Is that the right decision for everybody? No, it's not. Was it the right decision for me? Oh yeah, heck yeah, it was. Yeah, I have no regrets buying this thing. Do I know that I'm paying extra money because it's at a dealership? The dealership's taken all the risk of getting it over here to the US. The dealership has already gone over it to make sure that everything's good. They've already checked all the fluids, and they know that it's a good machine and it's ready to go. So am I willing to pay a little extra to have that peace of mind of knowing that? Yes, I am. Another piece of this is you go to the auction. Maybe you do the auction online. and there's one available and you're bidding on it and you're hoping you win it. Well, then you win it. Well, you've got a window of when you can get to the auction to go pick it up. You know, maybe it's from 8 to 2 Monday through Friday, and you need to go and you need to pick it up. Is the auction right by you? Is the auction in a different state? Where is it? Where are you going to go pick it up? Now, when you go get there, you better bring your tools and all your stuff. Is it going to start? So how would you get this machine with these tracks? How would you load this onto a trailer if it didn't run? I mean, it happens all the time. Guys go to these auctions and they buy these things all the time and they don't run. So there's that. Facebook Marketplace. Is this guy going to rip you off? Is this a real deal? I don't know. We don't know, do we? But when you go to a dealership, I knew that when I went over to K&R Equipment, I would be able to just go over there and pick it up. So when I went over there, the owner, Ron, he not only helped me load it on the trailer. Okay, he didn't help me. He loaded it on my trailer for me, which the first time you do it is a little intimidating, I gotta admit. So he not only loaded it on the trailer, but he also drove it out back. He showed me how to operate it, showed me the controls, let me dig some holes out back, and helped me with it, showed me, you know, how the whole process works. He gave me all the maintenance guidelines, when to grease, what to grease, how to do it. I wouldn't have gotten that somewhere else. But at the dealership, I got all of that. I have never had a piece of equipment before. Man, I barely have had a riding lawnmower. Besides that, I don't have a clue how to use this stuff. So the auction units come completely bare bones. It is a stock machine. When the dealership orders a whole bunch of them, they can customize them. When you speak directly with the manufacturer, you can make custom requests for your machines. Everything from colors to options to certain equipment. So let me give you an example. This one comes standard on this model with a hydraulic thumb. Very handy to have. It comes with a little bash plate. I see some of these auction units come with these hoses on this ram on the wrong side. You don't want them on the wrong side. It comes with a light on it. The light has a little welded protector around it that's bolted on here so you don't mush your light off when you're driving through trees. I drive through trees. This one has the hydraulic swing boom. So not only does the cab turn around, as you've seen me do, but you flip a button on the dash, and this one, the boom, kicks right and left. So the standard control panel is different than this one. This one has an upgraded control panel. Instead of the big long sticks that go down and a big chunk of plastic, this is solid steel. And it has digital gauges on it. So those are some nice upgrades. The cheapy little Chinese seat comes with cheapy little Chinese armrests on this unit. That's a nice thing to have. I actually like my armrests. The tracks on this to adjust the tension, it's not a bolt. I see all these guys, their tracks are falling off and they have trouble adjusting the tension. On this one, you pull off a cover and you put your grease gun in there and the tracks are adjusted by the pressure of the grease. And that's another nice touch. Some of the cheapy auction units have really cheesy frames. The dozer blades are really weak on some of them too. This one has a little bash guard on this as well, on this little ram for the dozer blade. There's just so many little things that are different than the average auction unit, even though the chassis, the body, the actual metal is the same. The way it's put together is different. I keep seeing people having to go buy Zerk fittings to grease all their fittings. Well, this came with those. I mean, why would it come with some weird fitting? No, it comes with normal grease fittings, so you just put a grease gun on and you just grease it. You don't have to do all that crazy stuff. I hear people saying you've got to add fans. This one came with an electric fan and a hydraulic oil cooler. It's already built in. I didn't have to do any of that. For some people, you might want to add all that. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you feel confident working on these. I've never had one. I don't know how they work. I've never had a single thing in my life with hydraulics. Hydraulic fluid is nothing that's ever been in my garage or shop before. So on my first unit, man, I wasn't willing to just go out on a limb and say, I'm going to become a hydraulic mechanic. No, I bought this, and yeah, I'm learning about it now, but instead of learning from day one, trying to build it and fix it and figure it out, no, they showed me how to use it. I jump on it, I turn the key, and it just works. And for me, that was a big deal. At the auction, they just tell you, hey, get it off our property. You have between this hour and these days to get it. And you have 14 days or whatever it is from the auction end date to go get your machine. At the dealership, I already told you what they did. Facebook Marketplace, man, it's just like buying something on Craigslist. I don't know. You think it's a good deal? You think this guy's gonna screw me? Who is this guy? I don't know. Let's roll the dice. Let's flip a coin. Roll the, yeah, anyway. So these are some of the reasons that I decided to go to a dealership, and I spent $10,000 on this machine. I'm not ashamed of it. You guys can make fun of me all you want. Everybody has their own situation. And for me, 160 bucks a month, and I've already made thousands off this machine. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of side stuff, but I've probably made, I don't know, 3 or 4 grand with it so far. You know, and I haven't even tried. So if I really tried, I could probably have it paid off pretty quickly, just doing some real jobs for people. And making this content and you guys watching it and helping you guys out learn about these machines and what to do. Hopefully some of this information was pretty useful to you. I didn't have a whole lot of information when I was buying one. There weren't a lot of places to check. Now there's groups on Facebook. But man, you get into these Facebook groups for these mini excavators, Chinese mini excavators, and you have haters on there that hate Chinese equipment. Why are you on that group if you hate the equipment? So you never know what information you're going to get there, if it's right or wrong or good or bad, and everyone's situation's different. I mean, maybe there's some dude who's got tens of thousands of dollars in his pocket, and he's like, I'm going to buy some machines. I'm not that guy. I'm just a guy out here playing with my toy, not made of money, and having a good time. So it was the right decision for me. Now, that being said, I want to see what it's like on the other side. What would it be like buying a machine directly from the manufacturer in China? And who is the manufacturer? So I jumped off that rabbit hole, and that took me to a whole dark world of craziness. It's like every company out there says they're the manufacturer. They're not. There's only one place that built that machine. But it's amazing how many places say they are. So to find the manufacturer is really hard. So weeks and weeks and months into this, trying to find a Chinese mini skid steer and who really makes it, I finally have an answer. And I bought one. And I ordered it, and I've communicated with the manufacturer, and they've sent me videos of their factory, of my mini skid steer being built, assembled, and created for me, and then videos of it being crated and put into a big box and loaded onto a truck, and I have all that data. It just got offloaded in Los Angeles today at the port, coming from China, where it's been on a ship in a container for weeks. And soon I will have my Chinese mini skid steer that I ordered directly from the manufacturer. And then I will be more knowledgeable about, do you want to buy one from a dealership, or do you want to buy one from a manufacturer? And I went through Alibaba and I bought this. We'll see how that works out, but from my understanding, it's not like an auction unit. It's like when they sell to a dealership, they sell to an individual. They need to make sure it's good and it's right, because it's the individuals, people like me and maybe you, who are the ones who are going to buy the next container. And maybe we're going to become the next dealer. So they want to take care of us because they have to warranty it with us. So that's coming. I have more information about that soon. But hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you like this sort of content, like and subscribe. There's a whole bunch more coming. I can't wait till I get that mini skid steer. In my search for a mini skid steer, I didn't want the generic one that everybody's buying at the auction. The little 2-pump, just a little oval track, the drive motor down low, just like my mini excavator. I wanted one like a professional one, like a commercial grade one with the motor up high, 3-pump, 3-valve, big motor. I didn't get the diesel. I got a twin-cylinder Honda and auto leveling bucket. I mean, it's got all kinds of stuff on it. This is a bad machine. So we're gonna jump into that and see what we can really do with it. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for watching. And as always, enjoy your time in the trees. For those of you who have been following my channel for a while, you know that this is my Chinese mini excavator. For those of you new,